What's happening, people? Today is National Signing Day, which will be the last official day when college football recruits in the 2023 class can sign their national letters of intent. So everyone is watching and in anticipation. Let's see who's still available and where they could end up. Between the early signing period in December and the transfer windows that closed on January 18th, there aren't many players on the board for today's signing period. Altogether, 293 of the elite athletes in the ESPN 300 have either signed the dotted line with their school of decision or are verbally committed, and will sign today. It's been an eventful and sometimes dramatic recruiting time leading up to today. We have seen a few flips here and there, one of which is Cormani McLean, who verbally committed to Colorado and is presumed to be signing today. We also saw QB Jaden Rashada ask for release from his national letter of intent after a multimillion-dollar NIL deal crumpled in Florida. This is one Gator fans were upset about. While we are nearing the deadline, there are some elite players still available. The pickings are slim, but they are not the bottom of the barrel by any means. In fact, the four being discussed today are all in the top 100 of ESPN's 300. 2 on this list are 4-star recruits and 2 are 5-star blue-chip players. So who is actually still available? And where are they expected to go? Are we in store for more surprises? Will Coach Prime swoop in and snatch one of these elite players? These are all good questions. There is much speculation, but we will all have to see what decisions these young men make today. First up is 5-star QB Jaden Rashada. He has been in the headlines the last couple of weeks more than any of the recruits on this short list. I have made a video about him as well previously. As many know, he was rumored to be visiting Colorado at one point, but he ended up visiting in Arizona. He threw for 3,055 yards and 32 touchdowns as a high school senior, initially committed to Miami on June 26, then changed course and flipped to Florida on November 10. Rashada is definitely one to watch. Let's see what he decides today. Next is another player I have touched on previously. That is the multi-position 5-star athlete Nichols Harbor. Harbor is a big, strong, versatile player with near Olympic speed. He has shined on both sides of the ball. He is a monster coming off the edge. However, he is equally dangerous at tight end. He has great hands and his speed makes him a threat anytime he is on the field regardless of position. While Coach Prime in Colorado should not be written off, most have predicted Harbor will go elsewhere. Schools analysts think are more likely are Maryland, South Carolina, USC, Oregon, Michigan, LSU, and Miami. But don't be surprised if Coach Prime gets another unlikely pick. We also have 5-star tight end Deuce Robinson. Georgia is high on his list for multiple reasons. He caught 56 passes for 1,067 yards and 10 touchdowns for Pinnacle High School. He also has his aim set to becoming a professional baseball player. He is an elite baseball player, and this could factor heavily on his final decision. Colorado is not completely out of the question. There is not another head coach in college football besides Coach Prime who has played in both a Super Bowl and in the World Series. No other player or coach has played at the level Deuce is aiming for in both sports. So, it's not far-fetched to imagine Coach Prime being an option. Roderick Pleasant is the number 11 cornerback in his class. He is a 4-star defensive back who is highly coveted. Pleasant is a big playmaker. Here is his scouting report found on 247 Sports. Pleasant has tremendous speed and is arguably the fastest player in the 23 class. He had personal bests of 10.14 in the 100-meter and 20.40 in the 200-meter as a junior and will compete in both sports in college. His speed shows up on the football field and he's a dangerous player in all 3 phases of the game. He's very quick breaking on the football, and obviously has the top-end speed to open up and run with anyone down the field. He has improved from a technique standpoint over the last year, playing with more patience and not trying to jump everything. He's not a big corner at 5 feet 10 but is an aggressive player, and isn't afraid to step up and run support. He is rarely kicked to but is always a threat to make a big play in the return game and has looked natural playing receiver and taking some running back snaps as well. In some areas, he's still raw and can make a big jump once he gets to college and fine-tunes a few things. His upside is very high and he should be able to contribute early at the college level. Pleasant is a triple threat player, just the type that Coach Prime loves. Coach Prime was arguably one of the best triple threats to ever play the game. He could score off an interception, a reception, or return a kick for a TD. Colorado's secondary is pretty deep as far as skill players. But I am sure if Pleasant does not mind the competition and wants to learn from the best, he has to consider Colorado a viable option. Walker Lyons is another highly coveted 4-star recruit. He is a large 6'3", 232 pounds tight end with a 77 inches wingspan and 33 inches arms. He has shown great potential and room for growth. One thing about both tight ends on this list is that they have room for development. Colorado has one of the best tight end coaches in football. Coach Tim Brewster is the tight ends coach, and he is considered by many as a tight end guru. He's developed elite players at that position from college to the NFL. So it is no stretch of the imagination to conceive a tight end wanting to be developed by such a coach. Walker will be a great pickup for someone. He has a tremendous upside. Here's a glimpse of his scouting report via 247 Sports. Walker lines up both attached to the core as an inline tight end as well as in the slot position. He does a nice job of getting off the ball and into his route pattern from either alignment. With good body quickness and strength, he has no issue getting off of press coverage. Can create separation with body position and enough burst to get away from defenders. Displays very good body control to make 50-50 catches and uses his jumping ability to make contested catches. Runs all the route patterns very well and precisely. Finds the soft spots in zone coverages to be a safety net for the quarterback. Understands how to set defenders up with route depth and stemming them to give the quarterback an easy throwing lane. Possesses enough speed to create rack for chunk plays. Willing to go across the middle and make tough catches in traffic. Even though he is not asked to do it often, he is more than an adequate blocker who will put his face on an opponent and drive them off the ball. With the evolution of the tight end position in college as well as in pro football, Lyons has a lot of the traits and skills that will allow for him to be a weapon for the offense on both levels. His football intelligence stands out with his route running ability to get open and understanding what the defense is trying to take away in their coverages. These are a few to keep an eye out for today. I personally don't have a crystal ball. I would not even use it if I did. It's too spooky. Seriously though, if December has reminded me of anything in recruiting, is that this old saying rings true. Believe none of what you hear and only half of what